I think being
Did
transparent.
you see a spike in sales over Black Friday though?
Yeah, we definitely did.
Consumers are so funny.
Yeah, being sales Barbie, customer service Barbie, operations Barbie, it's a little bit of everything, but it's fun. I mean, it's cool to see the product reaching people and people using it.
So let's pretend we're sitting in the Shark Tank. Mr. Wonderful would say something along the lines of, so is the goal that this is a very nice business for a handful of people, or does it scale? Like, how does it scale when it's hard to, pour a lot of gasoline on the fire? Or is that not a goal? And growing at a healthy rate is okay. And, maybe it's not the VC route of growth at all costs. And year over year, it's got to be 50 to 100% in the first few years. Like, how do you think about that kind of thing? Because it's refreshing. It's refreshing to hear.
And I'm certain if I went on to Shark Tank, they would express all kinds of concerns. I think going for something that's way less expensive is not as appealing to a lot of VCs. And that's okay. I mean, the way that I think about it is I've built this business to be scalable as it is. We can make 50 or 60,000 gels in a day if we need to. It takes some time and planning and coordination and everything to get to that day. So there needs to be some forecasting, but once it's on the line, it can run really quickly. And we're not making it ourselves. We rely on a really reputable contract manufacturer. So it's okay that we don't have the headcount there and we can scale accordingly. The same goes for the order fulfillment. We don't own that process. We work with a 3PL. And so when an order comes in, it automatically passes to them and they can fulfill it. So if our orders tripled, quadrupled overnight, we would be able to meet that. So it scales with it. Now, the way the business has been built, like you were saying, in its current state, I can't picture us having, a massive corporate office and having tons of employees. I think we'll naturally be a leaner team. And that's okay. For me, like the team is the community of athletes that we're benefiting by doing this, and that's going to turn away some investors if we look to raise outside capital. But, I think for others that will be a positive, and so that'll naturally drive us into the right places.
Well, when that comes, I have a person who you should talk to. But anyway, while we're on the marketing side of the house, let's talk about your Black Friday campaign. That was genius. Where did that come from? What is it? Why?
Well, we had talked a lot about, do we want to do a Black Friday discount or not? We think about this in the following way. Our product is discounted at retail, so we don't want to fall into this discount promotion trap that everybody falls into. And this is something we constantly battle with because discounts do work. They do drive the behavior that they're intended to do. And so for the listeners that don't know, I'll explain what our Black Friday discount was. We published a screenshot of an Excel spreadsheet that filtered low to high best value gel, when you think about it from a cost per gram of carbohydrate standpoint, including every single Black Friday promotion deal, and then our gel without any Black Friday deal. And even after every other company did their deep discounts, our gel was still the best value gel in the world from a cost per gram of carbohydrate standpoint. So this kind of came from my own personal frustration. So I had decided we're not doing a discount for Black Friday. And then I was getting an email every single day showing off these big deals. And I was sitting there thinking, like, I know people are going for this and, it's working for sure. And I was just thinking on the couch, I was like, I bet even after all of those discounts, we're still a better deal. And so I just ran the report and we were. And so I was like, this is funny. I'm going to promote this. Like, I think for us being like the people's sports nutrition brand, we have a responsibility to be transparent about us and about the industry. And like, let's push this out there. I think it's funny and it benefits people. So why wouldn't I? So in some ways it was genius, it worked out in our favor. But on the other side, if you look at classic marketing, there needs to be some sort of time constraint, something that compels someone to make a decision right then and right there, which that report doesn't necessarily do. It says, okay, I can get this anytime. But I think being transparent.
Did you see a spike in sales over Black Friday though?
Yeah, we definitely did.
Consumers are
so
so funny.
yeah,
Right? You're in the spending environment. You're like Cyber Monday has become like you sit down at your desk and your credit card is out or it's in your memory and you're like, what am I going to
yeah,
buy right now? It's fascinating.
totally. Yeah, people get in a spending mood. It feels easier once you've done the first transaction. Why not do another?
Yes, for sure. And it's even worse when you have your credit card number memorized or in one password so that it's just like a drag and drop. Okay, so you are the only full-time employee?
Yeah, I am.
What is that like?
Chaos. So I I'm sitting in a chair right now. About 20 times a day, I spin in a little circle and I put a different hat on and I'm a different person. So yeah, I mean, my days are certainly interesting. It's honestly a little bit challenging right now because the business has grown in a super exciting way and it's getting out there in a very serious way. And the amount of time I have is finite. My partner and I, we just bought a house and we're renovating it. I'm
You
also an
pay
athlete.
in carbs?
Yeah, we paid in carbs, and all the contractors are exclusively eating carbs to do the work. So there's like life things too. So we're renovating this house. I'm an athlete myself. I have a social life, and running this business and being a sales Barbie, customer service Barbie, operations Barbie. It's a little bit of everything, but it's fun. I mean, it's cool to see the product reaching people and people using it.
I want to go back to the Shark Tank type questions. When you started the company, how did you do that? Right? Like I find the founder story, I find the entrepreneurship component. Like, how do you press go once you've decided to move? What was the first, second, and third thing you did? Maybe we can start with the first.
Yeah. Well, it was slow to start and things progressively got busier and busier. The first thing was just conversations with Aaron, honestly. It was working out this idea and it was discussing the topic in a very broad sense. And then it went into formulation. So Aaron headed everything from a formula standpoint. And it's just as simple as you're probably imagining. It was Aaron in his little apartment kitchen, boiling some water and playing around with different carbohydrate sources. And so Aaron was busy at work on all things product and creating this gel and figuring out what worked well. And then I was trying to work out, the unit economics of it. Like, is this actually feasible? What is this going to cost? Who's going to make this? Are we making it ourselves? Are we working with a contract manufacturer? Who's making the packaging film? Who's going to make the carton? And so it was a lot of like reaching out to people on the internet and having calls and people not taking you seriously and, sifting through that and finding the right sort of partners and talking to, mentors of my own that I've met over the course of my life and like getting their input. And so it was a lot of talking to people in the initial stages and trying to figure out broadly what the plan is, and then there's all different types of things that follow that, like the actual process of making a business plan and all that. But, those were kind of the first few steps, I'd say.
Talk to me about the pride in creating and then seeing in the wild.
The first time I saw it in the wild, oh man, I don't remember. Probably last year, after we launched the product. It was on a group ride. I saw someone just taking it and it was sitting in the pocket. So the nice thing about our design, because it's a little taller, the little rip-off tab always sticks out. And it's a very obvious, especially on the back side, that we have our logo on there. So that sticks out. So it's very, that it's a Carbs Fuel gel in their pocket when it sticks out. The first time I saw that, and I didn't know this person, I was like, okay, this is the start. This is, we're making a change here. And it was
a real company.
Yeah, it was like, it felt legitimate as opposed to just our friends that were eating it, maybe they're just being nice. Okay, so they're, so they're buying the product. But once we began to see that, and then also reading reviews online or people posting videos and about how they love it, that also really made me incredibly happy because it validated all the work we've done early on to make this product, to see people enjoy it.